हरे कृष्णा। शुरू करिए हिमांशु ब्रो, आप शुरू कर सकते हैं मंगलाचरण के साथ।
जी भाई बोलिए। हरे कृष्णा। दंड करते हैं। मेरा वॉइस आ रहा है ना?
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल ब्रो, क्लियर है।
तो मैं शुरू करता हूँ।
करिए ब्रो।
ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपं कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदार्थं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरू श्रीयतपदकमलं श्रीगुरू वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथादितं सजीवं सद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान सहगण ललिता श्रीकांत नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशचारिणे हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्ते सप्तकांचनि गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी विश्ववाणी सुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिय। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। वेलकम टू ऑल द reading from Srimad Bhagwatam, Canto 4, the description of the characteristics of King Purnanjana. Puranjana. Text 1. The great sage Maitreya continued speaking to Vidura. My dear Vidura, in this way Lord Shiva instructed the sons of King Varishat. The sons of the king also worshipped Lord Shiva with great devotion and respect. Finally, Lord Shiva became invisible to the princess. Text 2. All the Pracheta princes simply stood in the water for 10,000 years and recited the prayers given to them by Lord Shiva. 3. While the princes were undergoing severe austerities in the water, their father was performing different types of fruitive activities. At this time, the great saint Narada, master and teacher of all spiritual life, became very compassionate upon the king and decided to instruct him about spiritual life. 4. Narada Muni asked king Prachina Parishat, my dear king, what do you desire to achieve by performing these fruitive activities? The chief aim of life is to get rid of all miseries and enjoy happiness. But these two things cannot be realized as fruitive activities. 5. The king replied, O great soul, Narada, my intelligence is entangled in fruitive activities. Therefore, I do not know the ultimate goal of life. Kindly instruct me in pure knowledge so that I can get out of the entanglement of fruitive activities. Those who are interested only in a so-called dutiful life, namely as the householder, entangled by sons and a wife, searching after wealth. Just give me a minute.
हरी बोल तो आपको म्यूट हो गया शायद, आवाज नहीं आ रही।
So my voice is clear now?
Yes.
Okay. 6. Those who are interested only in a so-called dutiful life, namely remaining as a householder entangled by sons and a wife, and searching after wealth, think that such things are life's ultimate goal. Such people simply wander in different types of bodies throughout this material existence without finding out the ultimate goal of life. 7. The great saint Narada said, O rulers of the citizens, my dear kings, please see in the sky those animals which you have sacrificed without compassion and without mercy in the sacrificial arena. 8. All these animals are awaiting your death so that they can avenge the injuries you have inflicted upon them. After you die, they will angrily pierce your body with iron horns. 9. In this connection, I wish to narrate an old history connected with the character of king called Purnanjana. Please try to hear me with great attention. Rosie, can you zoom out a bit? It will be better if you zoom out a bit because थोड़ा ज़्यादा मतलब बहुत इधर उधर हो रहा है थोड़ा zoom out कंट्रोल प्लस माइनस थोड़ा मतलब हरे कृष्णा
हरे कृष्ण ब्रो।
थोड़ा zoom out कर दीजिए एक्चुअली King Purnanjana began to search for a text 10. My dear king, once in the past lived a king called named Purnanjana who was celebrated for his great activities. He had a friend named Abhigyata, the unknown one. No one could understand the activities of Abhigyata. 11. King Purnanjana began to search for a suitable place to live, and thus he traveled all over the world. Even after a great deal of traveling, he could not find a place just to his liking. Finally, he became morose and disappointed. 12. King Purnanjana had unlimited desires for sense enjoyment. Consequently, he traveled all over the world to find a place where all his desires could be fulfilled. Unfortunately, he found a feeling of insufficiency everywhere. 13. Once while wandering in this way, he saw on the southern side of the Himalayas in a place named Bharatavarsha, India, a city that had 9 gates all about and was characterized by all auspicious facilities. 14. That city was surrounded by walls and parks, and within it were towers, canals, windows, and outlets. The house they were decorated with domes made of gold, silver, and iron. 15. The floors of the house in that city were made of sapphire, crystal, diamonds, pearls, emeralds, and rubies. Because of the luster of the houses in the capital, the city was compared to a celestial town named Bhogavati. 16. In that city, there were mainly assembly houses, street crossings, restaurants, gambling houses, markets, resting places, flags, stones, and beautiful parks. All these surrounded the city. 17. On the outskirts of that city were many beautiful trees and creepers encircling a nice lake. Also surrounding that lake were many groups of birds and bees that were always standing and humming. 18. The branches of the trees standing on the bank of the lake received particles of water carried by the spring air from the falls coming from the icy mountain. 19. In such an atmosphere, even the animals of the forest became non-violent and non-envious like great sages. Consequently, the animals did not attack anyone. Over and above everything was the cooing of the cuckoos. Any passenger passing along that path was invited by that atmosphere to take a rest in that nice garden. 20. While wandering here and there in that wonderful garden, King Purnanjana suddenly came in contact with a very beautiful woman who was walking there without any engagement. She had 10 servants with her, and each servant had hundreds of wives accompanying him. 21. The woman was protected on all sides by a five-hooked snake. She was very beautiful and young, and she appeared very anxious to find a suitable husband. 22. The woman's nose, teeth, and forehead were all very beautiful. Her ears were equally very beautiful and were bedecked with dazzling earrings. 23. The waist and the hips of the women were very beautiful. She was dressed in a yellow sari with a golden belt. While she walked, her ankle bells rang. She appeared exactly like a denizen of the heavens. 24. With the end of her sari, the woman was trying to cover her breasts, which were equally round and well placed side by side. She again and again tried to cover them out of shyness, while she walked exactly like a great elephant. 25. Purnangana the hero became attracted by the eyebrows and smiling face of the very beautiful girl, and was immediately pierced by the arrows of her lusty desires. When she smiled shyly, she looked very beautiful to Purnangana, who, although a hero, could not refrain from addressing her. 26. My dear Lotus, I kindly explain to me why you are coming, sorry, where you are coming from, who you are, and whose daughter you are. You appear very chaste. What is the purpose of your coming here? What are you doing? What are you trying to do? Please explain all these things to me. 27. My dear Lotus eyes, Who were those 11 strong bodyguards with you? And who were those 10 specific servants? Who are those women following the 10 servants? And who is the snake that is preceding you? 28. My dear beautiful girl, you are exactly like the goddess of fortune or the wife of Lord Shiva or the goddess of learning, the wife of Lord Brahma. Although you must be one of them, I see that you are loitering in this forest. Indeed, you are as silent as the great sages. Is it that you are searching after your own husband? Whoever your husband may be, simply by understanding that you are so faithful to him, he will come to possess all opulences. I think you must be the goddess of fortune, but I do not see the lotus flower in your hand. Therefore, I am asking you where you have thrown that lotus. 29. O greatly fortunate one, it appears that you are none of the women I have mentioned, because I see that your feet are touching the ground. But if you are some woman of this planet, you can, like the goddess of fortune, who, accompanied by Lord Vishnu, increases the beauty of the Vaikuntha planets. Also increase the beauty of this city by associating with me. You should understand that I am a great hero and a very powerful king on this planet. 30. Certainly, your glancing upon me today has very much agitated my mind. Your smile, which is full of shyness, but at the same time lusty, is agitating the most powerful cupid within me. Therefore, O most beautiful, I ask you to be merciful upon me. 31. My dear, my dear girl, your face is so beautiful, with your nice eyebrows and eyes, and with your bluish hair scattered about. In addition, very sweet sounds are coming from your mouth. Nonetheless, you are so covered with shyness that you do not see me face to face. I therefore request you, my dear girl, to smile and kindly raise your head to see me. 32. Narada continued, my dear king, when Purnanjana became so attracted and impatient to touch the girl and enjoy her, the girl also became attracted by his words and accepted his request by smiling. By this time, she was certainly attracted by the king. 33. The girl said, O best of human beings, I do not know who has begotten me. I cannot speak to you perfectly about this, nor do I know the name or the origin of the associates with me. 34. O great hero, we only know that we are existing in this place. We do not know what will come after. Indeed, we are so foolish that we do not care to understand who has created this beautiful place for our residence. 35. My dear gentlemen, all these men and women with me are known as my friends, and the snake who always remains awake protects this city even during my sleeping hours. So much I know, so much I know. I do not know anything beyond this. 36. O killer of the enemy, you have something or other, you have somehow, okay. O killer of the enemy, you have somehow or other come here. This is certainly great fortune for me. I wish all auspicious things for you. You have a great desire to satisfy your senses and all my friends, and I shall try our best in all respects to fulfill your desires. 37. My dear Lord, I have just arranged the city of 9 gates for you so that you can have all kinds of sense gratification. You may live here for 100 years and everything for your sense gratification will be supplied. 38. How can I expect to unite with others who are neither conversant about sex or not capable of knowing how to enjoy life without living or after death? Okay, while living or after death. Such foolish persons are like animals because they do not know the process of sense enjoyment in this life and after death. 39. The women continue. In this material world, a householder's life brings all kinds of happiness in religion, economic development, sense gratification, and the begetting of children, sons and grandsons. After that, one may desire liberation as well as material reputation. The householder can appreciate the results of sacrifices which enable him to gain promotion to superior planetary systems. All this material happiness is practically unknown to the transcendentalists. They cannot even imagine such happiness. 40. The women continue, according to authorities, the householder life is pleasing not only to oneself but to all the forefathers, demigods, great sages, saintly persons, and everyone else. A householder life is thus beneficial. 41. O my dear hero, who in this world will not accept a husband like you? You are so famous, so magnanimous, so beautiful, and so easily gotten. 42. O mighty arm, who in this world will not be attracted by your arms, which are just like the bodies of serpents? Actually, you relieve the distress of husbandless women like us by your attractive smile and your aggressive mercy. We think that you are traveling on the surface of the earth just to benefit us only. 43. The great said Narada continued, my dear king, those two, the man and the woman supporting one another through mutual understanding, entered that city and enjoyed life for 100 years. 44. Many professional singers used to sing about the glories of King Purnanjana and his glorious activities. When it was too hot in the summer, he used to enter a reservoir of water. He would surround himself with many women and enjoy their company. 45. Of the 9 gates in that city, 7 were on the surface and the two were subterranean. A total of 9 doors were constructed, and these led to different places. All the gates were used by the city's governor. 46. My dear king, of the 9 doors, 5 led towards the its eastern side, one led towards the northern side, one led towards the southern side, and two led toward the western side. I shall try to give the name of these different doors. 47. The two gates named Khadyota and Avirmukhi were situated facing the eastern side, but they were constructed in one place. Through those two gates, the king used to go to the city of Bibhrajita, accompanied by a friend whose name was Dyuman. 48. Similarly, in the east, there were two sets of gates named Nalini and Nalini, and these were also constructed in one place. Through these gates, the king, accompanied by a friend named Avadhuta, used to go to the city of Saurabha. 49. The fifth gate, situated on the eastern side, was named Mukhya, or the chief. Through this gate, accompanied by his friends named Raja, Rajaskya, Rajasna, no, no, yes, Rajaskya, Rajaskya and Vipanna. He used to visit those. He used to visit two places named Bahudana and Apana. 50. The southern gate of the city was known as Pitru, and through that gate, King Purnanjana used to visit the city named Dakshina Panchala, accompanied by his friend Strutadhara. 51. On the northern side was the gate named Devahu. Through that gate, King Purnanjana used to go with his friend Strutadhara to the place known as Uttara Panchala. 52. On the western side was a gate named Asuri. Through that gate, King Purnanjana used to go to the city of Gramaka, accompanied by his friend Durmada. 53. Another gate on the western side was known as Nirti. Purnanjana used to go through this city to the through Purnanjana used to go through this gate to the place known as Vaishasha, accompanied by his friend Lubdhaka. 54. Of the many inhabitants of this city, there are two persons named Nirvak and Peshaskrit. Although King Purnanjana was a ruler of citizens who possessed eyes, he unfortunately used to associate with these blind men. Accompanied by them, he used to go here and there and perform various activities. 55. Sometimes he used to go to his private home with one of these chief servants, the mind, who was named Vishushina. At that time, illusion, satisfaction, and happiness used to be produced from his wife and children. 56. Thus, being entangled in different types of mental concoction and engaged in fruitive activities, King Purnanjana came completely under the control of material intelligence and was thus cheated. Indeed, he used to fulfill all the desires of his wife, the queen. 57 to 61. When the queen drank liquor, King Purnanjana also engaged in drinking. When the king dined, he used to dine with her, and when she chewed, King Purnanjana used to chew along with her. When the queen sang, he also sang. Similarly, when the queen cried, he also cried, and when the queen laughed, he also laughed. When the queen talked loosely, he also talked loosely, and when the queen walked, the king walked behind her. When the queen would stand still, the king would also stand still, and when the queen would lie down on the bed in the bed, he would also follow and lie down with her. When the queen sat, he would also sit, and when the queen heard something, he would follow her to hear the same thing. When the queen saw something, the king would also look at it, and when the queen smelled something, the king would follow her to smell the same thing. When the queen touched something, the king also would also touch it, and when the dear queen was lamenting, the poor king also had to follow her in lamentation. In the same way, when the queen felt enjoyment, he also enjoyed. And when the queen was satisfied, the king also felt satisfaction. 62. In this way, King Purnanjana was captivated by his nice wife and was thus cheated. Indeed, he became cheated in his whole existence in the material world. Even against the poor, even against that poor, foolish king's desire, he remained under the control of his wife, just like a pet animal that dances according to the order of its masters. Hare Krishna.
जी बोल। जोरू का गुलाम सुना है आप लोगों ने? ये कहानी पढ़ के समझ में आएगा, मतलब ये जो पास टाइम हुआ है अभी, तो ने पहले जरूर पढ़ाया था। तो किस तरीके से हम मटेरियल एंटेंगल में आ करके और भोग विलास की प्रवृत्ति रख करके कितने हद तक गिर सकते हैं, इतना पुरांजन जैसे बड़े बड़े महारथी होकर के भी किस लेवल पे आगे पहुंच रहे हैं। भागवतम से कितना कुछ सीखने को मिलेगा अभी हमको। आगे पढ़ते हैं। शुभम प्रभु या अभिषेक प्रभु, आप दोनों में से जो भी पढ़ना चाहें पढ़िए।
हरे कृष्णा जी प्रभु, मैं पढ़ लेता हूँ। हाँ प्रभु, मैं उधर गूगल से मतलब पढ़ लेता हूँ ना। चैप्टर 26। King Puranjana goes to the forest to hunt and his queen becomes angry. Text 1 to 3. The great sage Narad Muni continued, My dear king, once upon a time King Puranjana took up his great bow and equipped with golden armor and a quiver of unlimited arrows and accompanied by 11 commanders. He sat on his chariot driven by 5 swift horses and went to the forest named Panchprastha. He took with him in that chariot 2 explosive arrows. The chariot itself was situated on 2 wheels and 1 revolving axle. On the chariot were 3 flags, 1 rein, 1 chariot driver, 1 sitting place, 2 poles, to which the harness was fixed, 5 weapons and 7 coverings. The chariot moved in 5 different styles, and 5 obstacles lay before it. All the decorations of the chariot were made of gold. Text 4. It was almost impossible for King Puranjana to give up the company of his queen even for a moment. Nonetheless, on that day, being very much inspired by the desire to hunt, he took up his bow and arrow with great pride and went to the forest, not caring for his wife. Text 5. At that time, King Puranjana was very much influenced by demonic propensities. Because of this, his heart became very hard and merciless. And with sharp arrows, he killed many innocent animals in the forest, taking no consideration. Text 6. If a king is too attracted to eating flesh, he may, according to the directions of the revealed scriptures on sacrificial performance, go to the forest and kill some animals that are recommended for killing. One is not allowed to kill animals unnecessarily or without restrictions. The Vedas regulate animal killing to stop the extravagance of foolish men influenced by the modes of passion and ignorance. Text 7. Narad Muni continued to speak to King Prachina Barhisat. My dear king, any person who works according to the directions of the Vedic scriptures does not become involved in fruitive activities. Text 8. Otherwise, a person who acts whimsically falls down due to false prestige. Thus, he becomes involved in the laws of nature, which are composed of the 3 qualities goodness, passion, and ignorance. In this way, a living entity becomes devoid of its real intelligence and becomes perpetually lost in the cycle of birth and death. Thus, he goes up and down from a microbe in stool to a high position in the Brahmalok planet. Text 9. When King Puranjana was hunting in this way, many animals within the forest lost their lives with great pain, being pierced by the sharp arrowhead. Upon seeing these devastating, ghastly activities performed by the king, all the people who were merciful by nature became very unhappy. Such merciful persons could not tolerate seeing all this killing. Text 10. In this way, King Puranjana killed many animals, including rabbits, boars, buffalo, bison, black deer, porcupines, and other game animals. After killing and killing, the king became very tired. Text 11. After this, the king, very much fatigued, hungry, and thirsty, returned to his royal palace. After returning, he took a bath and had an appropriate dinner. Then he took rest and thus became freed from all restlessness. Text 12. After this, Kung Pranjana decorated his body with suitable ornaments. He also smeared scented sandalwood pulp over his body and put on flower garlands. In this way, he became completely refreshed. After this, he began to search out his queen. Text 13. After taking his dinner and having his thirst and hunger satisfied, King Pranjana felt some joy within his heart. Instead of being elevated to a higher consciousness, he became captivated by Cupid and was moved by a desire to find his wife, who kept him satisfied in his household life. Text 14. At that time, King Pranjana was a little anxious, and he inquired from the household woman, "My dear beautiful queen, are you and your mistress all very happy like before or not?" Text 15. King Pranjana said, "I do not understand why my household paraphernalia does not respect me as before. I think that if there is neither a mother nor devoted wife at home, the home is like a chariot without wheels. Where is the fool who will sit down on such an unworkable chariot?" Text 16. Kindly let me know the whereabouts of that beautiful woman who always saves me when I am drowning in the ocean of danger. By giving me good intelligence at every step, she always saves me. Text 17. All the women addressed the king, "O master of the citizens, we do not know why your dear wife has taken on this sort of existence. O killer of enemies, kindly look. She is lying on the ground without bedding. We cannot understand why she is acting this way." Text 18. The great sage Narada continued, "My dear King Prachinavari, as soon as King Pranjana saw his queen lying on the ground, appearing like a mendicant, he immediately became bewildered." Text 19. The king, with aggrieved mind, began to speak to his wife with very pleasing words. Although he was filled with regret and tried to pacify her, he could not see any symptom of anger caused by love within the heart of his beloved wife. Text 20. Because the king was very expert in flattery, he began to pacify his queen very slowly. First, he touched her 2 feet, then embraced her nicely, sitting her on his lap, and began to speak as follows. Text 21. King Pranjana said, "My dear beautiful wife, when a master accepts a servant as his own man, but doesn't punish him for his offense, the servant must be considered unfortunate." Text 22. My dear slender maiden, when a master chastises his servant, the servant should accept this as great mercy. One who becomes angry must be very foolish not to know that such is the duty of his friend. Text 23. My dear wife, your teeth are very beautiful set, and your attractive features make you appear very thoughtful. Kindly give up your anger, be merciful upon me, and please smile upon me with loving attachment. When I see a smile on your beautiful face, and when I see your hair, which is as beautiful as the color blue, and see your raised nose, and hear you sweet talk, you will become more beautiful to me and thus attract me and oblige me. You are my most respected mistress. Text 24. O hero's wife, kindly tell me if someone has offended you. I am prepared to give such a person punishment as long as he does not belong to the Brahmana caste. But for the servant of uh, Murari Pu Krishna, I excuse no one within or beyond these three worlds. No one can freely move after offending you, for I am prepared to punish him. Text 25. My dear wife, until this day I have never seen your face without tilak decoration, nor have I seen you so morose and without luster or affection, nor have I seen your too nice dress wait with tears from your eyes, nor have ever before seen your lips, uh, which are ordinarily as red as the bimbo fruit without the reddish hue. Text 26. My dear queen, due to my sinful desires, I went to the forest to hunt without asking you. Therefore, I must admit that I have offended you. Nonetheless, thinking of me as your most intimate subordinate, you should still be very much pleased with me. Actually, I am very much grieved, but being pierced by the arrow of Cupid, I am feeling lusty. But where is the beautiful woman who would give up her lusty husband and refuse to unite with him? Hare Krishna.
हे कृष्णा। अभिषेक गुरु आप पढ़ेंगे या मैं पढ़ूं?
पढ़िए प्रभु जी, आप ही पढ़ लीजिए।
अच्छा, chapter 27, attacked by Chandravega on the city of King Puranjana, the character of Kalkanya. Text 1. The great sage Narada continued, my dear king, after bewildering her husband in different ways and bringing him under her control, the wife of King Puranjana gave him all satisfaction and enjoyed sex life with him. Text 2. The queen took her bath and dressed herself nicely with all auspicious garments and ornaments. After taking food and becoming completely satisfied, she returned to the king. Upon seeing her beautifully decorated, attractive face, the king welcomed her with all devotion. Text 3. Queen Puranjani embraced the king, and the king also responded by embracing her shoulders. In this way, in the solitary place, they enjoyed joking words. Thus, King Puranjana became very much captivated by his beautiful wife and deviated from his good sense. He forgot that the passing of days and nights meant that his lifespan was being reduced without profit. Text 4. In this way, increasingly overwhelmed by illusion, King Puranjana, although advanced in consciousness, remained always lying down on his with his head on the pillow of his wife's arm. In this way, he considered woman to be his ultimate life and soul. Becoming thus overwhelmed by the mode of ignorance, he could not understand the meaning of self-realization, whether regarding his own self or the supreme personality of Godhead. Text 5. My dear King Prachin Bharisat, in this way, King Puranjana, with his heart full of lust and sinful reactions, began to enjoy sex life with his wife, and in this way, his new life and youth expired in half a moment. Text 6. The great sage Narada then addressed King Prachin Varishad, O one whose lifespan is great, Virat. In this way, King Puranjana begot 1100 sons within the womb of his wife, Puranjani. However, in this business, he passed away half of his lifespan. Text 7. O Prajapati, King Prachin Varishad, in this way, King Puranjana also begot 110 daughters. All of these were equally glorified like the father and mother. Their behavior was gentle and they possessed magnanimity and other good qualities. Text 8. After this, King Puranjana, king of the Panchal country, in order to increase the descendants of his paternal family, married his sons with qualified wives and married his daughters with qualified husbands. Text 9. Of these many sons, each produced hundreds and hundreds of grandsons. In this way, the whole city of Panchala became overcrowded by the sons and grandsons of King Puranjana. Text 10. These sons and grandsons were virtually plunderers of King Puranjana's riches, including his home, treasury, servants, secretaries, and all other paraphernalia. Puranjana's attachment for these things were very deep rooted. Text 11. The great sage Narada continued, my dear king, Prachin Varishad, like you, King Puranjana also became implicated in so many desires. Thus, he worshipped demigods, forefathers, and social leaders with various sacrifices, which were all very ghastly because they were inspired by the desire to kill animals. Text 12. Thus, King Puranjana, being attached to fruitive activities, karma kandiya, as well as kith and kin, and being obsessed with polluted consciousness, eventually arrived at that point not very much liked by those who are overly attached to material desires. Text 13. O king, in Gandharvaloka there is a king named Chandavega. Under his there are 360 very powerful Gandharva soldiers. Text 14. Although with Chandavega were as many female Gandharvis as there were soldiers, and all of them repeatedly plundered all the paraphernalia of sense enjoyment. Text 15. When the king Gandharvaraj Chandravega and his followers began to plunder the city of Puranjana, a snake with 5 hoods began to defend the city. Text 16. The 5 hooded servant, the superintendent and protector of the city of King Puranjana, fought with the Gandharvas for 100 years. He fought alone with all of them, although they numbered 720. Text 17. Because he had to fight alone with so many soldiers, all of whom were great warriors, the serpent with 5 hoods became very weak. Seeing that his most intimate friend was weakening, King Puranjana and his friends and citizens living within the city all became very anxious. Text 18. King Puranjana collected taxes in the city known as Panchala and thus was able to engage his sexual indulgence. Being completely under the control of woman, he could not understand that his life was passing away and that he was reaching to the point of death. Text 19. My dear King Prachin Parishad, at the time the daughter of formidable time was seeking her husband throughout the 3 worlds. Although no one agreed to accept her, she came. Text 20. The daughter of time, Jara, was very unfortunate. Consequently, she was known as Durbhaga, ill-fated. However, she was once pleased with the great king, and because the king accepted her, she granted him a great benediction. Text 21. When I once come to this earth from Brahmaloka, the highest planetary system, the daughter of time, wandering over the universe, met me. Knowing me to be the avowed brahmachari, she became lusty and proposed that I accept her. Text 22. The great Sid Narada continued. When I refused to accept her request, she became very angry at me and cursed me severely. Because I refused her request, she said me that I would not be able to stay in one place for a long time. 23. After she was thus disappointed by me, with my permission, she approached the king of the Yavanas, whose name was Bhaya or Fear, and she accepted him as her husband. 24. Approaching the king of the Yavanas, Kalakanya addressed him as a great hero, saying, My dear sir, you are the best of the untouchables. I am in love with you and I want you as my husband. I know that no one is baffled if he makes friends with you. Text 25. One who does not give charity according to the customs or injunctions of the scriptures, and one who does not accept charity. Hare Krishna. अभिषेक bro, थोड़ा सा पढ़ लीजिए ना एक बार तो हम लोग को कॉल आ रहा है.
हाँ प्रभु जी मैं पढ़ रहा हूँ. One who does not give charity according to the customs or injunctions of the scriptures, and one who does not accept charity in that way are considered to be in the mode of ignorance. Such persons follow the path of the foolish. Surely they must lament at the end. Kal, text 26. Kal Kanya continued, O gentle one, I am now present before you to serve you. Please accept me and thus show me mercy. It is a gentleman's greatest duty to be compassionate upon a person who is distressed. Text 27. After hearing the statement of Kal Kanya, daughter of time, the king of the Yavanas began to smile and devise a means for executing his confidential duty on behalf of Providence. He then addressed Kal Kanya as follows. Text 28. The king of the Yavanas replied, After much consideration, I have arrived at a husband for you. Actually, as far as everyone is concerned, you are inauspicious and mischievous. Since no one likes you, how can anyone accept you as his wife? Text 29. The world is a product of fruitive activities. Therefore, you may imperceptibly attack people in general, held by my soldiers. You can kill them without opposition. Text 30. The king of Yavanas continued, Here is my brother Prajwara. I now accept you as my sister. I shall employ both of you as well as my dangerous soldiers to act imperceptibly within this world. Hare Krishna, Ronak Prabhu.
Hare Krishna bro.
क्या बोले थे हम लोग जी?
जी bro. आवाज अच्छे से नहीं आ रही तो।
हरे कृष्णा।
जी ब्रो।
सुनाई दे रहा है? हरे कृष्णा।
आ तो रही है आवाज। एक्चुअली परमू ने बताया तो है बुक के बारे में, लेकिन दुर्भाग्य की बात यह है कि क्योंकि वो जो नया बेस जो बना है तो उसका कुछ काम था या पता नहीं किस कारण से तो जी थोड़ा सा भी बाहर है। तो उन्होंने बुक का नाम भी बताया है और
प्रभु जी कोई
मैं
ये
कोशिश
हरिनाम चिंतामणि पढ़ रहे थे ना,
तो
कुछ
जी
और ही
हरिनाम
स्टार्ट
चिंतामणि
करना है
शुरू
क्या?
तो किए थे। एक्चुअली जी हरिनाम
हाँ, वो
चिंतामणि
मैं
शुरू तो
लास्ट
किए
का कल
थे।
अटेंड नहीं कर पाया था। हाँ बताइए प्रभु जी।
हरिनाम चिंतामणि स्टार्ट तो किए थे मगर प्रॉब्लम ये है कि हरिनाम चिंतामणि एक्चुअली में पूरा फिलोसफिकल है और
अच्छा
फिलोसफिकल बुक को पढ़ना आप कुछ पढ़ रहे हैं फिर हम सुन रहे हैं। क्या होता है जब हम बायोग्राफी पढ़ते हैं या ऐसी कोई चीज पढ़ते हैं तो हम उस चीज को समझ सकते हैं। उसमें क्या होता है ना, पास टाइम सुनना होता है और छोटी मोटी चीजों को कंटेम्पलेट करना होता है। लेकिन अगर हम फिलोसफी पढ़ रहे हैं जैसे हरिनाम चिंतामणि में क्या प्रॉपर फिलोसफी है कि होली नेम क्या है, होली नेम को कैसे रिस्पेक्ट देना है और वैसी बहुत सी चीजें हैं।
अच्छा।
तो इसको कंटेम्पलेट कर पाना पढ़ते ही थोड़ा डिफिकल्ट हो सकता है। मतलब एक तो बोरिंग भी हो जाएगा क्योंकि हम एक बार में ही भागवतम पढ़ के आए होंगे और उतने में हम आ जाएंगे। वहां पर इतने उपदेश आ रहे हैं, चलिए आज तो फिर भी पास टाइम था, लेकिन कल जब हम पढ़े तो शिव जी के गीत और प्रेयर्स और सारी चीजें थी और उसमें फिर ये कहीं ना कहीं दिक्कत होगी। दुकान को ने ऐसा कहा तो इसीलिए कोई नहीं। तो अभी हमारे
प्रभु जी
पास एक
ये
बहुत बढ़िया बुक खोजने
राधानाथ स्वामी महाराज की बायोग्राफी पढ़ी तो अच्छा रहेगा, कैसा रहेगा?
जर्नी होम रहा जर्नी होम।
हाँ प्रभु जी मैंने पहले पढ़ी है, बहुत अच्छी लगी थी, मतलब बहुत
मुझे भी
एडवेंचरस
आपका
जर्नी है
नाम
उनकी।
मैं आपका देखा था,
हिंदी
आपने
भी
ग्रुप में
पढ़ते हैं।
सजेस्ट किया था, मुझे भी बहुत सही लगा मतलब। बट हम उसको
मतलब वो
एक्चुअली दोबारा ब्रो से
फॉरेन से
डिस्कस कर
आते हैं ना तो काफी एडवेंचरस जर्नी हो जाती है उनकी।
एक्चुअली बीच हाइकिंग बहुत अच्छा लगता है करना।
कौन सा।
बीच हाइकिंग बहुत अच्छा लगता है पढ़ने में।
अ, तो एक्चुअली अगर आप स्क्रीन में देख पा रहे हैं तो वो जो बुक आप बोल रहे हैं वो भी बहुत अच्छी लग रही है आपके। वो सुनिए, मैंने एक बार आपके बोलने के बाद नेट में चेक किया था उनके बारे में। तो ऑब्वियस सी बात है, राधानाथ महाराज के पास टाइम्स हमने सुने हैं किस तरीके से मुंबई में वो कनेक्ट हुए थे पंडाल में और बहुत सी चीजें हैं। तो वो तो हम पढ़ना बहुत कोशिश करेंगे
प्रभु जी वो
राइट नाउ।
टर्की और इराक की जर्नी बहुत अच्छी रहती है उनकी।
उनका मतलब कि वहां से लिफ्ट लेकर के आना काफी एडवेंचरस जर्नी रहती है।
हाँ,
एक एक बार जो मतलब मैं इसका नाम बोल रहा हूँ, मतलब वो कहते हैं ना जैसे जो स्नेक का नेवला, क्या कहते हैं उसे इंग्लिश में, मैं भूल रहा हूँ, नेवला हम हिंदी में कहते हैं।
एनाकोंडा,
अफगानिस्तान का जो एडवेंचर है ना
मंगूस मंगूस।
हाँ,
मंगूस।
मंगूस मंगूस। मंगूस उनके हेड में बैठ जाता है और महाराज करीबन काफी समय तक, लंबे समय तक बिल्कुल खड़े रहते हैं कंसंट्रेट होकर के। वो बहुत ही
गले में प्रभु जी,
एडवेंचरस
गले
रहता।
में
अच्छा,
गले में
गले में।
लिपट जाता है जी।
ओहो।
स्नेक का था सर, स्नेक लिपट जाता है तो
नहीं मंगूस था
फिर
ठीक
वो
बोल
उनसे
रहे हैं।
पैसे मांगते हैं। इंडिया की शायद स्टोरी आप बोल रहे हैं क्या?
नहीं, अफगानिस्तान की स्टोरी है।
अच्छा।
हाँ।
अब इतना सारा डिस्कशन सुन के तो इच्छा तो बहुत हो रही है पढ़ने की। हम
और
लोग कोशिश करेंगे फटाफट।
आई थिंक जब जब हिमालय में जाते हैं तो एक मतलब एक काफी एक बहुत ही विलेज, मतलब इंटीरियर विलेज रहता है। तो मतलब मैं प्रॉपरली मतलब भूल रहा हूँ काफी पहले। उनके मतलब उनके पीछे कुछ डॉग्स या फिर कुछ ऐसे लोग ऐसे पड़े जाते हैं, डॉग्स ही रहते हैं। तो बड़ी मुश्किल से जो है सामने कोई पर्सन जो है उनको मतलब दरवाजा खुलता है अपने घर का, तब वो जाकर के अपने आप को बचा पाते हैं। हाँ, उनके हाथ पे ये रहता था कि मतलब भगवान कृष्ण की फोटो रहती थी। तो वो सबसे यही पूछते थे कि ये जो काला व्यक्ति है ये कौन है मतलब भगवान कृष्ण का मतलब इस तरीके से है ना, वह श्याम वर्ण है, तो पूछते थे कि काला व्यक्ति कौन है, काला मतलब मैं भक्तों से सुना हूँ, मैंने ज्यादातर से नहीं पढ़ा है, लेकिन भक्तों बताते हैं। आई थिंक हम
अच्छा,
वैष्णव
मुझे तो
एटिकेट
केवल
पढ़ने वाले हैं।
मतलब
What
तुकाराम
is
प्रभु जी तो
good
यही
for?
चाहते हैं कि फिलहाल हम ये पढ़ें कि पता तो चले कि कैसा क्या टिकट होना चाहिए, किस तरीके से हमको डील करना है सभी
तो
से। ये बहुत,
बहुत
इसमें जब हम
नहीं
पढ़ने जाएंगे तो महाराज, बोलिए।
ये भी थोड़ा फिलोसॉफिकल नहीं है?
हाँ, एक्चुअली इसमें
आई
फिलोसफी ज्यादा नहीं है, इसमें एक्चुअली बस हमको बताया जाएगा एग्जाम्पल से, जिसका जब आप देखेंगे कंटेंट तो इसमें देखिए फिलोसफी नहीं है। ओहो, फ्री है क्या?
इसको थोड़ा कंटेम्पलेट करके मतलब साथ साथ में पढ़ना चाहिए। समझते
डायरेक्टली
हुए
स्टोरी
पढ़ना
बुक पढ़
पड़ेगा
सकते
मुझे
हैं,
लगता
लेकिन कहीं ना कहीं
है।
स्टोरी बुक डायरेक्टली पढ़ सकते हैं, कोई सी जैसे प्रभुपाद की बहुत सारी बायोग्राफीज हैं। लेकिन आज तुकाराम प्रभु जी वो बाहर जा रहे थे तो आएंगे तो नहीं, लेकिन वो बोले अगर हम इसको पढ़ सकें तो शुरू करें तो
हाँ प्रभु जी, ठीक रहेगा, शुरू करते हैं।
करें। ओके।